going to start over here with our afternoon session, talking about a few different things here. I'd like to start, of course, with the late work and how we're going to be doing Sunday. Folks, remember that our stuff usually is due on Friday, so it's probably a good idea for you guys to get those things done on Friday if you can. If not, not a big deal. Make sure that you get it by Sunday. I personally recommend getting it done as soon as possible, but it's up to you. All right, attendance, folks. I've got a few people. I sent out a reminder a little while ago regarding doing your journals to their fullest extent. Don't just put the word no or yes. I've got about 3 or 4 people that just put the word yes to a what is it? Let me make sure that I got this question right. To the question, in your opinion, is there any way we could make Photoshop better? Explain. No. Explain. And it says there's a 3-sentence requirement there, folks. Make sure that you guys are explaining those out, all right? I got a few people that just said no or yes or maybe. That's not okay, all right? You guys are supposed to be finishing these to your fullest extent. I'm going to hold you accountable. I know that we're online and you think that you're just going to get away with maybe, I don't know, presumably everything. You're not going to get away with this. I will not count the journal if you're not going to explain it to the fullest extent, if you're not going to do your work to the full extent, okay? Why should I give you my time if you're just going to squander it? All right. So that is my that's my little attendance rant. Take it as you will. Make sure you finish those things off. Unfinished journals. If you don't finish them and you turn them in at 2 a.m., you are at 2 a.m. the next morning. You are absent. Sorry. I had somebody that turned theirs in at 12:03. I counted you tardy. But they said it's up to teacher discretion. So, you know, if it's a few minutes, not a big deal. But if it's like an hour or 2 hours, yeah, no, you're absent any day of the week. So, sorry about that, but I gotta count you absent because that's just the way. That's one, the way the world works, but two, the way this is working. Okay, so if you haven't yet figured that out, make sure that you get those in ASAP. Even if you did them and then you did them at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning, get them in because you still get the the credit for those. They still give you the points for those, but you don't get the attendance credit. All right, make sure you get those done. Next thing, of course, let's work towards new classes. Let's talk about new classes real fast. We got a few people. I'll get out of the way of this so you guys can see this. New classes. I'm excited about this one. So many of you guys know that there is kind of a tiered system here. Let me see if I can get my blackboard up here. You guys know that this is kind of a tiered system now. What I want you guys to see is kind of how the classes are going to work here over the next couple. I'm actually in the middle of placing you guys in the correct class. So if you get a call from me or you get a email, hey, are you interested in doing this class for this purpose and yada yada, make sure you email me back as soon as possible because I'm trying to put those class lists together. We have 4 classes next year. And they look like this. Level 1 is Principles of AV Tech. And many of you guys have already taken this class. You remember the lovely, the ethical videos and the emo clips so many of you, of course, are going to remember that. That is what some of the freshmen will be taking next year. So level 1, of course, is Principles of AV Tech for this coming year. That, of course, is where all the freshmen are going. All right. So let's go ahead and really quick, I want to talk to you about the next level. The next level after that, level 2, is, of course, your sophomore level. That's Audio Video Production 1. In Audio Video Production 1, you still get all of the graphic design stuff. You still get all of the Photoshop stuff. We prepare you for all of those things, those ACA certifications. But level 2 is Audio Video Production. That is the production unit that you have You make a second ethical commercial, and you start with animations. You begin working with audiology, videography. You create your first mainline narrative script, your first mainline narrative storyboard, your idyllic company and product commercials. You do frequency waveforms. You do cymatics. We do all of that stuff in AVP1. So if you haven't yet gotten into audio video production and you've taken the Principles of AV Tech portion, you would be in the AVP1 bracket. Now, this is where things get a little tricky, because in level 3, we have audio video production 2. Now, here's why that is tricky. All right? The reason it's tricky is because many of you took the class called graphic design this last year. Now, graphic design in and of itself is its own class off to the side now. All right? We are using that as a pseudo point for audio video production 1, but we are not putting you in the audio video production 2 class unless you have taken Principles of AV Tech. So let me go over that real fast. That way everybody understands what I mean by that. Let's start at the top, okay? If you have taken Principles of AV Tech and Audio Video 1, you automatically go into Audio Video 2. If you have taken Principles of AV Tech and Graphic Design in substitution for Audio Video 1, we are placing you in Audio Video 2. If you have taken Principles of AV Tech but no other course, like you skipped a year or you came back or I don't know, then you are going to be taking Audio Video 1. Okay? If you are my 2 gentlemen that are going to be doing this next year, I'm not going to give names, but they know who they are. If you took Principles of AV Tech and we skipped you to Audio Video Production 2 for this last year because we were kind of making Audio Video 1, we're teaching a lot of Principles of AV Tech stuff in Audio Video 1, okay? Then you are going to be placed in Audio Video 1, but you are going to be in the 4th level of that, which is the Practicum class. Now, let me explain to you the Practicum class. I want to make sure I get this to everybody. So give me a second as I put this through. The Practicum class. Now, the Practicum class is for 4th level students. This is those of you that are junior seniors, those of you that have taken these courses, those of you that are Practicum level will most likely be seniors, okay? And seniors are only seniors are allowed to take the Practicum class, okay? There are 2 people that will be in the Practicum class, but that will be noted as taking Audio Video 1 because you haven't taken that. That's okay. Don't worry about it. It'll be on your schedule that way, but you'll still be in the Practicum level class because you already know all the stuff in Audio Video 1. I don't want to have to sit you through that class again, all right? So these are the 4 different levels of our graduation pathway. The first one, Principles of AV Tech, is going to give you a lot of really cool things. For example, that's going to give you all of your basic idyllic ideas, your basic principles. For example, this is a camera. This is how to take pictures with that camera. These are the settings on that camera. These are the, for example, the JVCs that we use. This is the JVC camera. This is a hood. This is the audio deck. This is an XLR cable. These are the principles that you need to know going into Audio Video 1 so that we can give you the best quality education going forward. So Audio Video 1 folks that learned some of that stuff this year, you see that you've gotten a little bit of a learning curve where I had to teach you PAVT stuff and AVP1 stuff at the same time, and you're still doing that today, right? Because we're about to be doing our radio sweeps and news broadcasting. Many of you have never done that before in Principles of AV Tech, so we have to do it in Audio Video 1. So that's why we're doing that here in the near future. Things for you to think about going forward, Audio Video 1 people that are currently in this class, Audio Video 1. Some of you are seniors. I think I have about 8 seniors. Let me check. I think I have about 8 seniors or so that are going into, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seniors. I got about 6 seniors that are going into audio video 2 that have not taken the principles class, or well, that should be in the practicum class, that don't have some of the little things like AVP2, the AVP2 class knows how to do. Okay, so that is why those of you that haven't taken AVP2 and you're seniors, you can't go into the practicum class because you've not learned all the stuff that we learn in AVP2. AVP2, you guys get ACA prep. This is where you start to learn how to get your certifications. At the practicum level, you should already have a certification. If you don't have a certification at the practicum level, we will get you certified, okay? And we don't recommend that you serve in any capacity if you don't have yet a practical ACA certification, okay? So your junior year, that is when we as a collective give you your ACA certification. Now, some of you will be getting that in Photoshop. Some of you will be getting that in Premiere. That's just the way that we kind of did this last year. Fortunately for us, we're going to be kind of counterculturalizing that, making that something a little bit better for you guys in the future. Those of you seniors this year that will get your Photoshop ACA, the following year we'll get your Premiere ACA, and we'll teach you how to do that. We'll have those people that are good at Premiere teach you how to do Premiere. People that are good at Photoshop, you will be teaching all of our Premiere folks how to do Photoshop really well, okay? And you will teach them, of course, how to do their ACA prep for that class. Those of you that are getting your Premiere certification this year, you will be getting a Photoshop certification next year, all right? So these are just kind of some of the things that I want you to see. This is the kind of the level by level way that we're doing things. So Principles of AV Tech 1, that's your easy stuff, all the stuff that you have to learn as a student. The easy stuff you have to learn as a student, like of course the cables and all the little stuff that you need to know and have. Audio video 2 or audio video 1, that is cymatics, that's frequency levels, that's figuring out how to work with a waveform, that's a little bit more mathematical precision, that's working with the soundboard, that's parametric equalizers, working in Audition, doing Foley noises, okay, learning what Foley is. That's also graphic design and marketing, that is how do we do advertising, how do we mobilize an entire group of people for a specific group of clientele? How do we work with small businesses? How do we create our own small business? So that's audio video 1. Audio video 1, you also learn a little bit about making websites for your businesses, how to create those, how to make those look really good. You talk about Premiere. We talk about exporting your videos, narrative videos. Okay, audio video 1, you'll have your own project where in class you'll have groups of folks where you eventually create your own narrative. Films, and you'll edit them all separately but simultaneously, that way that everybody has the ability to put their own creative spin on it. I do want you guys to see this. AVP1 is probably one of the most fun classes for you guys to be in because it advents you to the rest of your time in audio video production. It's one of the most fun classes on the sophomore level. If you haven't taken one of those classes though, and you are a junior, you're probably going to be in AVP1 most likely. If you don't show promise enough to be in AVP1, for example, if you've never taken a class like that, you have no idea what you're doing with a camera, no idea what you're doing when I say the word OBS, no idea what you're doing when I say the word Premiere or Adobe or Photoshop or Cut or Drag or all of those other things. If you're not really sure about all that, we're probably going to put you in Principles of AV Tech because that's going to give you your basis in Photoshop. That's going to give you your basis in Premiere, and that way that when you get into AVP1, we can hit the ground running and really get you guys acquainted with how to work with that. So, and then AVP2, that's one of the most fun classes for me because I love getting you guys in there. You guys eventually will teach each other a lot of new stuff. You guys are going to learn about the Premiere window like crazy. That's going to be metadata. That's going to be, of course, color correction, lumetri scopes, how to create live video, how to do live streams like this, how to do green screen and chroma key like I'm doing right now, how to make videos like this one, how to do stuff like that. That's AVP2. You do the live stream. You do the, I say live stream, the announcements live streamed. You do You will be doing your own radio podcast. You'll be doing a lot of really cool things in audio video too, that some of the audio video too folks this year didn't get to do, but they'll be getting to do next year. Now, practicum. Let me explain practicum real fast because I know a lot of people want to see it. So let's, oh wait, it's over here. It's right here. So practicum right here. This is the cool fun one. This is your senior year. What are you doing in practicum? That's the most asked question I've got over the last couple of weeks, especially as we were talking about this going forward in our AVP classes. Practicum, folks. So seniors, raise your hands, folks. This is you. You folks are going to legitimately be doing an internship for a specific group. There are a multiplicative of groups at the moment. Actually, let me actually write down the list. I actually have one here. That way you can see it. Okay, so your internship opportunities consist of a lot of different things. Make sure that I get this list correct. Pause for me real fast, folks. I'm going to go make sure I've got this correct. I will be right back. I think I got this down. Making sure I had it all right before I gave it to you guys, of course. All right, so here is the list of possibles that you guys have going forward as practicum folks. So this is practicum only. These are some different opportunities that we're going to have going forward for you guys. So starting off with, of course, athletics videographers. We're going to need 2 folks that are going to be just dedicated to athletics. Now this is going to be anything and every. This is going to have anything and everything to do with being able to. You're going to have to take photos as well as do videography for them. So that means that you're creating commercials, promos for the basketball team, for the football team, doing like a tryout information montage, or maybe even a winners montage, or maybe something like they made playoffs and you send that, and we send that to Miss Sabrina. Now, anything and everything that you guys make in the as athletic videographers is going to be one of those things where we take that, we do an approval. We have to do a meeting where we do an approval, just like in a production setting. We go and approve it. Once we've approved it and it looks great and everything's hunky dory, woo! Then what we're going to do is we're going to take that, we're going to send it to Miss Sabrina, and of course, she will tell us whether or not they're going to put it out there on the pages and stuff. Everything that we do will go on our Facebook page, no matter what. But whether or not that goes public is up to her and the marketing team. All right. So marketing and advertisement internship would be the next one. That is a really cool one. That one is going to be with Miss Sabrina Smith Marsh. She's the one that's going to tell you guys you'll have to write articles for. You'll have to write articles for the website. You might have some communityisd.org website responsibilities where you have to update certain things at certain times. David Hugh can give you a little bit of insight on kind of what he's doing. It's a little bit more than what he's doing right now, but it's going to be a lot. Those of you that are doing the marketing and advertising internship are really going to be also in charge of making videos for example, if we have an outbreak like this, like COVID-19, and they're like, hey, we need a video explaining where to go find all this really cool stuff. The ones that I've been doing called the Tech Tidbits, you guys may be in charge of doing something like that. But of course not at that angle, if that makes any sense. Not at the, COVID-19, we're going to expect you to do it in your home. I'm just saying if we have the option and opportunity and we have something like that come up, something that affects the district, they may ask you to make a video over it, and you're going to have to be able to do that, okay? CISD organizations representatives. There's going to be 2 of those. We're going to call those CORs. Those are the community organizations reps. They are going to be in charge of just about everything that comes up with organizations. That's going to be fine arts organizations, UIL organizations, anything to do with like dance, cheer, indoor drumline band. That's also, and that may be more than 2 people, probably about 4 people. Okay, that's going to be the what is it? Art, robotics, SNHS, NHS, FFA, FCCLA, all of those different things. Okay, those folks are going to be in charge of making production promo videos. Okay, really awesome graphics, designs for those graphics so that we can make them look really, really amazing, really awesome. Send those to Miss Sabrina Smith Marsh so she can post them on the district's website as well as on Facebook and all those other things. That way we have some really cool things going on for our organizations as well. So those of you that are in practicum, that will be your section, your segment. And as we do your assignments, all of your assignments will be geared around that. All right. You also have some outside audio video technology opportunities. Those are going to be the folks that are going to utilize organizations and businesses or companies outside of our direct sphere of influence here at Community ISD. So that's going to be, of course, things like church audio video technician. I'm going to have a rotation of about 3. I talked to you guys about this the other day, of about 3 different audio video technicians that I will need for this lovely bit right here. You guys will be in charge of anything from doing running a soundboard in the morning to making promotional videos, for the a church or the churches around the area. But specifically, a lot of you will be working with me so that I can give you the ability to work as a technician, working on live streams. You'll be doing live productions. You'll be doing live stream productions on Sunday mornings. You'll be doing soundboard productions on Sunday morning as well. So 2 or 3 of you will need to be, and those you guys won't, of course, be getting paid for that because that's kind of illegal. But what we will do is we will give you this as resume opportunity, as well as volunteer hours and volunteer opportunity. Okay, so you guys have that opportunity as well to do those, and those outside organizations require a little bit more work. You will have to submit. Wait for it. You will have to submit an essay that applies for that job. You have to submit a resume that applies for that job. Just as if you're going into the job field, you have to apply for it. You will get with me, especially for the church audio tech position, and you will do an interview. If you are, those of you that are looking down already and seeing Princeton studio gig, there is a studio here in Princeton called... it's called FOH Productions. I can't remember what it stands for, but that is run by Mr. Bob McClure, and he is one of the AV technology teachers at Princeton High School. He runs that studio, and a lot of his students run through that studio, and I'm working with him to try and get a few of our students to be able to do stuff there, where they'll be doing audio video installations at different organizations, different places, as well as a Princeton studio gig. If you are one of those folks, you'll also have some district subset organizations that you will be in charge of, because that is going to be kind of you go outside the district to go work on those things. Now, if you do get that opportunity, you do get that job at the Princeton studio, the FOH Productions. After I talk to him, of course. If you do get that, then of course you will have to do anything that they require of you. Those will be placed in for your grades, but you'll also have to do something. And that's a really cool thing, because you'll get a little bit extra job experience. So you do that extra work for that extra job experience, for that extra resume experience. And of course, every single bit of this goes on your resume. Every single bit of this goes into your job opportunities log. Everything that you do in that senior year, that practicum year, you get to use as a bouncing board, as a springboard to head into college. Those of you that want to do this in college. Also, for those of you that would like to do this for a job, and you want to go get a job at one of the big production agencies that we have here in Dallas, as well as down in Austin and Houston and Pick a City. There are multiple. There's plenty. But you guys will have your certification. You'll have job experience, resume experience. You'll also have a heck of a reference in myself, and of course, I will be plenty. It'll be plenty easy to get that reference from me. So if you are interested in one of those, and there are more to come, I'm still in the works of trying to make sure that these all work. FOH right now is a big question mark, because I haven't really talked to him much about it, but maybe mentioned it once or twice. So these are some of the things that we'll be doing. There are way more to come, especially in the CISD bracket. We're looking right now at trying to do some for middle school and middle school organizations. Some of you to put together the yearbook, the CISD yearbook. Many of you will be doing that as well, and that requires its own subset of requirements. Almost all of you guys will be working on the yearbook in some capacity, but some of you will be what we're calling staff managers for the yearbook, and of course that means that you are going to be managing a section. For example, you might manage a student life section, or you might manage a the clubs section, or the athletics section, or the senior ads section. Okay, and each and every one of us will have a job in the show. For example, I think we have about 14 or 15 people that are going to be in the class next year for practicum. You guys will each for sure have about two or three spreads that you have to work on, which is 2 pages. But there will be a staff manager that works on all those pages, and they will have the final say on everything you produce. All right, so I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps you guys see a little bit how classes are going to go next year. I hope this is really fun. I hope this is a really cool update for you guys. Wow, I just got the hiccups. I'm so sorry. But I'll be on the stream for a little while. If you have any questions, need any more information, just let me know. I'll be here for another about 30 minutes, and then, of course, we'll sign off, and then I'll see you guys. Woof, hiccups. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Woof, those hiccups, man.
Test 1, 2. Whoa. Test 1, 2. Hello. Hello. Test 1, 2. Woohoo! All right. Just sorry, testing out a new mic, guys. So if you guys have any questions, make sure, of course, that you direct those to my email. You can find me on Google Classroom. Make sure. Oof. Where did my music go? I'm gonna turn that off real fast. Make sure that you guys, of course, find me in Google Classroom, Google Hangouts, and of course, make sure you're staying on top of your attendance, folks. This is going to be the last one for today. If you have any questions, you can find me via email. I will be offline completely at 4 p.m. Make sure that you find me. All right, you guys have a phenomenal week. Be safe.